Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. It is a great pleasure for me to be here with you to share my thoughts and exchange my views on rejuvenating democracy, giving voice to youth, a subject of utmost relevance in the current global scenario. Youth are harbingers of change. Today's generation of youth people is the largest the world has ever known. Every second person alive today is below the age of 30, and around 90% of young people are living in developing countries, mainly in Asia and Africa. The challenge of creating enough jobs and opportunities for the global youth population is the major challenge world faces today. We all recognize that democracy is a dynamic system of organizing societies and governing communities. Therefore, it has to rejuvenate itself periodically to tackle the challenges of change, of absorbing new ideas and understanding new needs. One obvious section of society whose involvement in public life needs to be encouraged in the interests of democracy is the youth, to whom the future belongs. With youth comes energy, vigor, innovation, and optimism. These lay the ground for major positive contributions by youth for a rich demographic dividend for nations and our world. The wisdom of the old and the vigor of the youth must be blended for the benefit of deepening democracy in society. Great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Ho Chi Minh, Nelson Mandela, and Dr. Kenneth Kaunda in their youth and subsequently also successfully channelized the energy of youth to strengthen the roots of democracy in their respective countries. In the demographic profile of any country, youth are always a great asset, and at the same time, we must recognize that they also face various problems. We need to engage them productively and mainstream them in the task of nation building. When the system can channelize their energies in the proper direction, it strengthens development, democratic fabric, and promotes social harmony. If their youthful energy is not used properly, it may get misdirected to terror or other activities which are detrimental to the larger interests of society. To strengthen the democratic process and make it inclusive, meaningful, and sustainable, it is imperative that the youth should get a rightful say in decision making. The question that is often raised is about the factors that make the youth stay away from public life. Analysts have identified four levels of space that dominate the thinking of the youth. The first space is for the family, the second space is for career, third is for lifestyle, and fourth is for friends. There is a need to create a fifth space from self to society by inculcating an interest in the mainstream social processes. In Indian philosophy, we talk about divine journey from Vyasthi, individual, to Samasthi, cosmic. and then to the absolute. Vyasthi vision addresses concerns of an individual, while Samasthi vision stands for compassion and welfare of all. It should be a sincere endeavor of everyone to expand his or her vision so as to embrace more and more people. It is, however, true that opportunities for youth to engage in effective participation in the democratic process or governance are not easily available. Electoral politics has become highly competitive and a costly avocation, thereby shrinking the space for the youth. The lack of a formal platform to express themselves can lead to their marginalization. That should not be allowed to happen. It is possible to create a non-electoral space within the democratic processes to involve the youth, and their perception of politics needs to be understood to create effective space for them in public life. In India, we have brought down the minimum age for voting from 21 to 18 years, resulting in youth participation in large numbers in the democratic process. The advent of the social media has been a boon in this context. It has become a dominant force which is used by the youth to convey their opinions and share their thoughts and ideas on contemporary issues. Today, India is a young nation with about 27.5% of its population being in the age group of 15 to 29 years. In the next 20 years, these figures are going to increase, and therefore it is necessary to make them an active part of the political and developmental process. In this regard, various initiatives have been taken to involve the youth in community development. The Department of Youth Affairs was specifically created to formulate policies for the youth, give them support, and channelize their energies into creative endeavors. The National Young Leader Program was launched with the objective of developing leadership qualities and service motive among the youth. The present government has launched path-breaking initiatives, that is Skill India, to train people in different skills, and Startup India to boost youth entrepreneurship and encourage job creation. The National Youth Policy was relaunched in 2014 in our country, with one of its priority areas being participation of youth in politics and governance. This initiative seeks to create future leaders from grassroots to the national level.